In the words of Dolly Parton, love is like a butterfly, and the change in the main character's perspective in the stage adaptation of the miraculous journey of Edward Tulane is much like the evolution of a butterfly, going from a simple caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. The story follows Edward Tulane, a rabbit doll made of china, as he lives with different people after going overboard into the ocean when traveling with Aileen, the little girl who received him as a gift. He ends up with people from all walks of life, from a fisherman and his wife to a homeless man and his dog, and ultimately back with Aileen. Edward Tulane, the star of the show, starts off very arrogant with little concern or compassion for others. But as he meets new people and learns of the different experiences one can have in their life, he values love and is more accepting of the love Aileen has for him in the end. Over the span of decades, we could find our friend Edward in the little girl Aileen's room, in the depths of the ocean, at the home of a fisherman and his wife, on a pile of garbage, on the city streets with the homeless community and their beloved dog, at a sick child's bedside, and lastly, a toy shop.
David Wood's common characteristics of a children's audience really applies and is seen through this play. When Edward gets tossed into the water and the stage transforms into this underwater world Edward is in, the audience navigates it with him in real time. Another characteristic utilized a lot in this play is that children love animals and toys. With this play, you get both of these, as Edward is a china toy rabbit. A toy rabbit or animal can be very familiar and relatable to children, making it more impactful. Here's our playwright, Dwayne Hartford. He's really known for a lot of his plays for young audiences, and he is from Maine but currently lives in Phoenix, Arizona with his dog. He received his BFA in theater from Boston Conservatory for the Arts. Something very known and interesting about our author is that he wrote a play titled Eric and Elliot with hard hitting themes like youth suicide. This really shows his ability to do a great job at tackling serious and common issues within our youth and depicting that beautifully through his script. Dwayne is currently the artistic director for Child's Play Theater in Tempe, Arizona. A lot of his plays have actually premiered here, and they're making a lot of progress forward for TYA shows. I also really love the logo as it says Imagine Together and it's colorful. The playwright makes a lot of choices to really add to this play. For example, there is a consistent ensemble of sorts as the characters all interchange. The musician is also the voice of Edward throughout, and this troupe tells this story, so we're viewing it in chronological order, just like a puzzle, as you're putting it together. Music is also used throughout this production, really adding a lot of layer to the story, whether it's the musician strumming his guitar or Nelly singing a good old lullaby. It really shows how music has an impact to create atmosphere and push the plot forward in a production.
While David Wood lists many ingredients for good children's theater, two that are most present are an interesting main character and suddenlies. Edward's character becomes more interesting because only the audience hear his thoughts until he's with other toys. In addition, the plot relies on suddenlies as part of his journey. Using David Wood's ingredients for good children's theater is like baking a cake, and some productions add some sprinkles that make it even more special. For example, some productions may have used shadow puppetry, interesting lighting choices, or a beautifully colorful set design.
Fantasy within reality and toys and inanimate objects are really huge components in this play, with a talking China rabbit and the troop. The journey Edward goes through is very real, but it's captured in the lens of something that is in real life and animated and static. Tales of the anthropomorphic is another big component. It might seem unreal that animals can think, act, and speak like human beings, but Edward does. Edward goes through a very real journey with a lot of self discovery and real feelings that a lot of human beings feel.
This play is an adaptation of a book with the same name written by acclaimed writer Kate DiCamillo in 2006. In 2013, Dwayne Hartford was commissioned to write an adaptation of the book by Child's Play Theater Company in Tempe, Arizona, and it premiered that same year. Here is an image of the cast of the Chicago Children's Theater 2015 production of the play. The production used music, shadow puppetry, and a simple set to tell Edward's story. In addition, the actors switched roles throughout the story, playing the different characters themselves. This is the poster for the Western Kentucky University 2023 production. What I like about this poster is the simplicity of it, as well as the little bit of foreshadowing with the cracks in the rabbit. My only change would be to the title font. Other than that, I love it. This is the poster for the Merely Players Theater Company 2024 production. I like this poster because I think having the silhouette of the rabbit in the grass with the moon behind him further emphasizes the journey aspect of the play. In addition, the font is very easy to read.
This poster really stood out to me from Mount Vernon Lisbon's community theater production. I love how it kind of has Edward in the middle and then all the people who will be affecting him throughout on the wall behind him in frames. It's a really cool concept.
Well, that's all for today. Here is our bibliography with some of our sources for our information in the slides, as well as our photos. Thank you for listening.